In the dim glow of the hallway light, Michael stumbled through his front door, his work clothes clinging to him with sweat. His eyes, bloodshot from hours of strain, barely registered the disarray around him. The usual scent of lavender that greeted him was replaced by unfamiliar musk, tinged with something like regret. His wife, Sarah, stood at the threshold of their bedroom, her back turned. The silence between them was heavy, each second elongated as Michael's heart pounded in his chest. His hands clenched the keys he had just extracted, the ones that normally dropped into the bowl by the door. "Where were you tonight?" Sarah asked, her voice steady but distant. Michael froze, his breath catching. The question was like a knife, slicing through the fragile truths they'd maintained since their arguments began weeks ago. He stepped closer, each footfall echoing in the silence. Sarah turned, and Michael's world tilted. Her eyes met his, a flicker of recognition passing between them. In that moment, Michael felt a chasm open, a gulf so vast it swallowed the love they'd once shared. His brother David stood behind her, his presence a testament to the betrayal. "I could ask you the same," Michael said, his voice trembling but firm. Sarah's lips tightened and she opened her mouth to speak, but Michael held up a hand, stopping her. The room was thick with the weight of unspoken truths. Michael turned to David, his brother, whose face was a mask of guilt. "How long has this been going on?" The words wrenched from him, each one a struggle. David's eyes dropped, and he shuffled uncomfortably. "It started a few weeks ago. I swear, Michael, it wasn't like that. We just... Just, Michael interrupted, his voice rising. "You were here, in our home, with her. How could you?" The question hung in the air, each word slicing deeper than the last. Michael felt the room spin around him, the walls closing in. He thought of their marriage, once built on trust and love, now shattered into pieces. His mind raced, a cacophony of emotions, anger, pain, confusion, warring within him. He considered leaving then, his bag packed with the urgency of escape. But instead he decided to give them both a chance to talk, to see if anything could be salvaged from the ruins. The hours that followed were torturous. Michael wandered through their home, each memory like a knife twist. The laughter they'd shared, now hollow echoes. The love they'd once cherished, now a distant whisper. In the morning, after a sleepless night, Michael faced Sarah again. Her tears and apologies did little to ease the ache in his heart. He listened, his expression impassive, as she spoke of her regrets, her fear that she'd lost him forever. "I'm sorry," she whispered, her voice breaking. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I never wanted this to happen." Michael looked at her, seeing the woman he'd loved for years, and felt a wave of sorrow wash over him. He wanted to forgive her, to find the strength to move forward, but the betrayal was too fresh. Their friends, while supportive, offered differing opinions. Some advised leaving, citing the irreparable damage. Others suggested counseling, hoping to patch what was broken. Michael listened, absorbing their words like a sponge, but found no easy answers. Days turned into weeks, each one a struggle. Michael worked tirelessly, his job becoming his sanctuary from the pain. The weight of his decision loomed large, each day a battle between his heart and his resolve. In the end, after much soul-searching, Michael chose to leave. It wasn't an easy decision, but he knew staying would only delay the inevitable. He packed what little belonged to him, his heart heavy with the knowledge that this chapter of his life was closing. As he drove away, the weight of betrayal lifted slightly, replaced by a resolve to move forward. The road ahead was uncertain. But Michael knew one thing: he had to rebuild himself piece by piece from the fragments of his broken trust